Hey guys, welcome back to You're Watching Lou. Today we're gonna be watching a playback video. Not black. Don't say these words. It's basically about AVA. I just learned about what AVA was like about a year ago. I didn't even know like the technical term for all that shit. But I'm interested to see what playback got to say, especially this man right here. Lo be saying some shit that, but when I be watching playback personally, I'd be like, nah, you're wilding gang, or like you're 100% right. It's like one or the other. He's either wilding completely or like he's 100% like right. Stupid nigga. But if you guys new around here, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Yeah, what I just.
The race can say these words.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
You say these words, you get canceled.
Cancel.
I just wanted to clarify that I know. My mod sent me a lovely
Wait.
document on the issue.
Shorty's getting canceled because she said like, hold on, real quick. I gotta see the words because I gotta see what Shorty's getting canceled for real quick. Oh my god, like they flashed that shit real quick.
You say these words, you get canceled.
They flashed that shit real quick. There we go. Shorty can't say as F, period, per. Nah, that's crazy. Boosa. This is crazy. This is crazy. This is not even an AVA word, bro. This is a New York word. Like, sure, I guess. Because, like, no cap, niggas ain't saying dead ass like that in other states.
Say, yo, for the people that...
My fault.
What phrase? I don't want to say it. But yeah, if I offended anyone, I really didn't intend to.
This is crazy though.
Now I know.
Apologizing for saying like just English words.
I don't want to say it. But yeah, I've heard many.
You would
It's
think
crazy.
it's a racial
I was
slur.
like,
Yeah, you think she
for
said
the
like,
people who don't
I was
know
about to
this,
say some shit. No, I was about
type
to say
in the
some
comment section what you
shit.
think she's talking about, what she might have said.
I was about to say
You
some
would've thought she said
shit.
something
No, I was about to say some
crazy.
shit. I can't
Crazy.
even. I really can't
You know
even
what
say
she
it. That's a crazy
Go
part.
ahead, say it. You
I would love to
dark
say
enough,
it,
No
but, like,
cap. And they were like, no.
You dark
can't
enough is
say
crazy.
it. It's too...
You can't say no cap is
said
crazy,
black.
bro.
She said no cap.
She
all of
said
a
no
sudden,
cap.
Whoa,
What did she say no
What the fuck?
And she got sent a document from her mods telling her language was inappropriate.
And then this
That's
is the list of
crazy.
words that apparently she can't say. Bro, what
Put
the
that
fuck,
joint up, bro.
Y'all
Put that
are
joint up.
hard.
Yo, she can't say cap, shook,
Finna.
snatch, lit,
How is
finna.
woke? Is woke one of the words?
Woke is just a word.
It's just a
Woke
word.
is just a word.
Aggie, press,
Aggie.
sis.
But to be fair though, right? A lot of these words are just words, but black people use the words in different contexts and meanings, so I can understand why black people then think it's their own. That being said though, you can't tell someone they can't say woke in the same context that you said woke because like you can. It's not racist. It's like you can say cultural appropriation maybe, but like it's not racist. And if she's appropriating culture, like take it as a compliment that like our culture is so impactful that she's gonna want to say woke or that they Aggie or they pressed or cis or like
What, ghetto? They can't say
BWBK.
ghetto?
Nah, I don't like when white people say ghetto though. I ain't gonna lie.
They can't say bay?
Bay is crazy.
It's so weird to me how black people want to just... What do y'all be fighting for sometimes, dead ass? What y'all be fighting for?
What do you
bro?
want?
This
A girl worth fighting for.
And like out of all the
Child,
things you could be
come
using
on.
your time to do,
Nah, this is
is
crazy
the
though. I ain't
fight
gonna
you
lie.
wanna pick.
Like
First
this is
of all,
crazy.
That's just such a crazy...
Like, this
Know
is
how
crazy.
This is to enforce.
It is.
You have to decide based on just visual, without knowing somebody, that they're not black. You don't know what their dad is. You don't know what their mom.
Okay, agent, and I've heard them say this a lot, and I just want to speak on this real quick. Like, true, like, you can't necessarily always tell who's black by physical appearance. That's not the point, though. If you're white passing, society also views you as white passing. Therefore, you have certain liberties that other black people don't have. Yes, you're still black. Completely understand, not trying to argue who black or not. However, you're not black, if that makes sense. You don't understand the black plight the way most black people do. You have a different black plight because now you look a little different, so now everything about your life has changed for the most part. You feel what I'm saying? I just want to make that brief. Like,
you really just see the complexion, and you get to be the deciding factor.
but that's what most people do, bruh. If I was a lighter skinned person with different facial features, I wouldn't be bothered as much.
That's all it
Least.
is. It's just slang.
Whether I was
Argue
black or
a
not,
black person
like,
came up with it. Well, then
you
why
feel what
not
I'm
just
saying?
keep
Not
going?
saying that's
Okay,
right,
if a
but it's
black person
like it's
can't
life.
dance, and white people can't do it.
Exactly.
And vice versa. Let's just really wait for approval. Why do you get to decide? Why is she conforming to this? Oh my
That's the
God.
crazy part,
So
that
that's
Shorty
great.
did apologize.
Hey, I know you can't say the word, so I'll say it for you. Everybody's so woke,
And pressed.
impressed.
Yo,
Sis.
I hate the word woke. Sis is crazy. Sis is crazy.
Yo, this is so crazy.
Sis isn't even like, I mean, it's a
this-
black.
Listen, see if I can put a
I'm
sentence
pretty sure it's a
together
black
just using these
gay
words real quick. Let me
like
see.
cultural
Yeah,
word.
she
Like gay
apologized.
people
Hey,
that are black, I
sis,
think,
you ain't
say
gotta
it. So
ask us.
that's crazy,
to
though.
start
I ain't gonna
simping
lie.
to our community. Don't be dead ass and get all
you see,
Aggie
you hear how
and
he
fake
said
woke
that,
about
or
it.
even
'Cause I'm
Aggie.
finna get
Aggie is
lit.
dead on New York word
This
too.
is
Like you
such
gave
a
me Aggie.
fucking-
I've never heard anyone outside.
Come on,
This list was
fam.
made by a
Shut
New
the
York person
fucking
because I've
booty
never heard
out
someone
there,
outside of
so-
New York say Aggie.
God.
Like you gave me
Feels
Aggie.
like-
I can't believe
I never heard someone
what
say it
I'm
like that.
seeing. And the fact
Even-
that she's having to apologize.
God.
Why is she
'Cause she said no.
apologizing?
And dead ass
She
isn't
didn't
dead
say
ass
anything
low. It's like you
offensive.
feel what I'm
I'd love to
saying.
learn, man.
Why shouldn't white people use AAVE? Let me clear the room.
She's pretty though.
Since I made that
I fuck
video,
with the
I
green.
got a comment surrounding the conversation if white people can use AAVE if done appropriately. Here
Done
is why
appropriately
the
is
answer no.
crazy.
But before we get into that, let's talk about this comment right here. Well, yes, they can, because one, you can't control what people do, and two, it's a language, so that means anyone can learn it or be born around it or grow up around it. Okay, and I'm gonna
Be
get into that as well.
born around it?
Then she adds, and inclusive with others. Y'all being black people, get mad and say no, hiding behind the notion protecting the culture. Sounds like a hypocrite to me.
Wait, an inclusion with others. Yeah, I get mad and say no, hiding behind the notion of protecting the culture. Oh, y'all say no. This is why, yo, no cap. When y'all commenting, can we put semicolons? Can we put commas? Can we put periods? Because this is a run-on sentence. And y'all and inclusive with others. Period. Y'all get mad, comma, and y'all get mad and say no. No, y'all get mad. Yeah, comma. Say no, hiding. Wait, this sentence don't even make sense, bro. I understand her gist. This is a crazy sentence. That being said, though, I wish we weren't as inclusive as a race, but and that's not what we're talking about right now.
Things wrong with this ignorant
Which is
ass
why I don't
comment. Let me
mind
just say, for
people
starters,
like
it's
you
not
feel what I'm saying,
hypocrite, it's
gatekeeping certain
hypocrite.
things.
Two, not only is it unfair, but inappropriate.
Wait, she said it's not what as well because
Sounds
they
like a
looked at
hypocrite to me. Well,
hypocrite. Oh wow,
with this ignorant ass comment. Let me just say, for starters,
petty
it's
for
not
that.
hypocrite, it's hypocrites.
She's
Two,
petty
not
for
only
that.
is it unfair, but inappropriate to include yourself in
She's
a
petty for
cultural
that.
aspect of a group, but not experience the trauma, the systematic racism, and the
Bruh,
injustice.
y'all niggas want to be victims so bad, fucking bad,
Oh my god.
so bad.
It's so
You know what's the
interesting.
funny part of all this is, Lo?
Oh my.
What's the funny part,
God.
AJ?
There's
Talk to me.
YouTubers on this platform. You can search them up, where all they do is learn languages, and they go to the places. So they'll learn Mandarin and they'll go to China. They'll learn Harari and they'll go to Ethiopia.
Okay.
They'll learn French and they'll go to France. And
Okay.
they'll speak the language. And because you don't look like average person there,
Yeah.
they'll be mind blown that you could speak their language so
Yeah.
fluently. And then they'll actually be like almost proud of you. You'll see
Yeah.
their faces light up. Like,
Now, that
oh
is
my
true,
God,
though.
How do you know
That's
the
a fact.
language?
Yeah.
Where are you from? So all these other cultures, you'll learn their language, and they'll almost be proud that you went.
The
out of your
difference
way
is
to
though, agent, right? Because I get your point. The difference is in this is that when you go to France, for example, French is the French, the language, is the French people's culture, right? So they're proud that you learned about their culture. There's a little difference though if you learn AVA, for example, because AVA people will then take it, appropriate it, and now that's just like American dialect, for example. It's not black people dialect anymore. Black people culture a lot of the times gets appropriated and just pushed back out generically as just culture in America. When it's realistically black people culture. They don't come around and like we won't get like excited that you guys are using our like terminology because we don't then get cited as that's our terminology. Feel what I'm saying? Cool.
learn their culture.
Yeah, for sure.
And
For
this
real.
is the opposite, where it's slang. It's still English, right?
It is still English.
Literally
It is still
the
English.
same words
That's why
that
this is a
everybody
little
else
funny,
use
though.
For the most part, it's just that we're giving it a different meaning.
Well, then it's
Before I
not
learn
though.
Cantonese or Mandarin, I have to learn the trauma of Chinese people. Like, sure, if you're gonna dive into their culture,
It's a little different though, again, because we're not talking about a culture like a country's culture. We're talking about a culture like an ethnic group's culture. It's a little different because then, yes, you're appropriating a specific. It's different if you want to appropriate American culture. If you want to do that, then you can include AVA and whatever the case may be. And that's a little more dicey to argue because that is American culture as well. However, if you want to explicitly do AVA or just Black American culture, then yes, you kind of do because it's kind of like when they gentrify. and then they come into these. Actually, I'm not even gonna get too deep. I'm not gonna get too
sense
deep
for you to learn more about their
because
history.
I don't want to.
and
You
what
feel what I'm
it's
saying? I don't want to say too much, especially about something that they not talking about right now.
So that
That
means
is
like
crazy.
literally because like Duke is the one who popularized Riz, right? So
Duke
that
and Kai, yeah.
Duke and Kai,
Duke and
right?
Kai,
So what
yeah.
does that mean? So that means that like because they're black and they had all this trauma in their life, that's the reason why they get to use it, bro. Majority of things come out of
That's
some
not
sense
true.
of like identity of who they
That's
are.
not true though,
by
Lo.
that
That's not her
logic,
point.
Because you're not white. That means that you can't use the English language. Is that what that means?
Also,
Like,
No,
does
Lo,
it
that's not the
right
same
now?
Does
thing.
it also mean that because you're
That's
in
not
the
the same thing,
class
Will.
as a person who created a word that you have the rights to use it? While
No,
others
Agent,
don't?
that's
Can't
not
you
the
just
same
argue
thing.
that the person who created it should be the one who decides who can and can't use it? In which case, I don't know who she is and what she's created, but I guarantee it's probably none of the words we've seen at the beginning of this video.
Agent, it's not true though.
Trying to,
That's the thing. It's not. That's not true at all, Agent. For example, I'm from New York, right? I didn't create a lot of the New York lingo. You feel what I'm saying? But if I hear another person say New York lingo that don't sound right to my ears, I'm like, hold on, what are you doing? Like you're not from here. Like I understand you could be appreciating the culture of New York and all that jazz, but nah, like what are you doing? Like you feel what I'm saying? But again,
Can you stop acting
I'm
like
probably-
every
I'm
black
probably
person
just a
has the same
gatekeeper.
fucking experience,
that is
bro?
true. I
The
hate that
trauma
notion
which
that we
you
all
speak
have the
about
same
does not
trauma
happen
and
for
things like
every
that.
black person.
100%
There's
true.
Plenty of black.
But not 100% true. Actually, 95% true because depending on your skin tone, right, and your physical features, it doesn't matter what social or economic class you are classified in, you can still experience a lot of the traumatic things that someone that looks just like you in a completely worse off situation or better off situation will experience. If I'm a big black man, it doesn't matter if my father's LeBron or not. Like it really doesn't in the eyes of society. But yeah. So you do actually experience a lot of similar traumas. It's just not it's similar, it's not equivalent, which I think people like to always like not understand. Things can be equal but not equivalent. We're doing the same, we're equally experiencing the same type of trauma, it's just not the same exact trauma. But
In
yeah.
America
Anyway.
who grew around with privilege. It is not then mean
I like hearing them
their
talk though,
trauma
because like they be
experience is the same
talking
as
some
yours.
real stuff.
Some
I just
people's
wish
experiences in life is more
they would
much
just,
more
like,
associated to the socioeconomic
be real,
environment
if that makes
they
sense.
grew up in.
Not saying that
because
this
of
ain't
race
really
of their
them, but
skin.
like
You know,
be
it's funny,
real.
if this was like,
race
if
of
this
their
was
skin,
like,
color of their
the
skin.
color of skin. If this was like a white person singing a slave song, I would kinda understand, like, all right, now.
It's the same thing, though.
Connected to,
Yeah.
We're talking about
But-
just
and that's the
slang,
thing.
vernacular.
I hate
For people
that,
who don't know,
like,
AAVE just means African American
Vernacular,
vocabulary English. I don't know.
Yeah.
Some shit
It's
like that.
vernacular that
It's just-
people
it's just
in
vernacular.
America just use. That's all it is. It's just
That being
slang.
said, though, I hate that black people they
doesn't
equate
account
an
for
equivalent.
slang you
They
might have picked
equate
up
rather
from other
everything back to
cultures or other
slavery. If
regions
it's
of
not
the world,
slavery or
it
something
doesn't account for,
directly
like, why does this
directly
woman,
happening, like
random
overtly
victim on
happening,
TikTok
rather,
get to decide
it's
who's
just not
black
real.
enough to say
I hate
certain
that.
words?
Like I really
get
do.
to see
A
her
lot
say
of
she's
black
not
creators
I'm
too.
about to say, yeah,
Like
that's
they
why
do
I
it.
qualify
I've heard
herself
DDG
to
do
be
it.
able to say the
I've
word
heard
because
Ray's do. Like I've heard a lot of different
I mean, I'm
creators.
not black,
If
I'm
something's
from
not
Canada.
overtly
He's black,
racist, they
I'm
just
from
ignore
Georgia.
it because
So
everything
it's
is like
you're
subliminally
creating a
racist in
line
America.
that's only comfortable
I don't
to
agree with
you
that. That's a
because
neutered
you're
ass
trying
opinion.
really hard to be a victim in all this. It's weird.
Trying to be special.
Meanwhile, the language and characteristics used by black people constantly gets ridiculed and called things such as unprofessional, ghetto, and
Yeah.
lacks class, though it is natural to us. So it is inequitable because you guys exploit the black experience.
It's not
Meanwhile,
natural.
black people just exist
So
and
you
still
take
get judged and denied. But Key, what about the palm-colored people who grew up in southern marginalized regions? Okay, what does that have to do with
The
anything?
palm-colored
they
people
grew
is
up
crazy.
around black people, so they adapted to the culture. Don't you
Nah,
think it's
palm-colored
unfair
is
that only
crazy.
white people get to reap the benefits of the black cultural experience? What do you mean by that? How do they benefit? Because they profit off of it? Don't you find it odd that the language, hairstyles, and aesthetic created by black people are only considered
Yo, bro, this is so easy. This is so easy. It's so funny how
What's up?
everyone's all about black this and black that.
Uh-huh.
But when you get your nails done, you go to the Asian spot. When you need your car detailed, you go to the Mexican spot. When you need some items for
What is your point in this though?
whatever, you go to the check. Bro, you at no
But
point.
agent, what is the point of that? Because, and I'm not saying every community is the same. I've not lived in every community. You feel what I'm saying? But I want agent to really address. For example, in New York, a lot of Middle Eastern people own stores. So if I want something, I have to go to a Middle Eastern store. It's not practical to just try to find a black-owned store because there's far and few in between. You might find a poppy store, like a Hispanic store, but you're not gonna find a black-owned like corner store, for example, in New York, right? Does that mean every time I want a bacon, egg, and cheese, I'm going to the Ox? Yes. But what does that have to do with her point, agent? Because like it's property is disproportionately distributed in brown and black communities, agent. Firstly. Secondly, those dense stores, there's gatekeepers that prevent black-owned businesses from thriving. So, like, for example, a black-owned detail person might not ever get a storefront to then be able to go and do that. A Mexican might, an Asian might, a black person might not get a nail salon. And I don't know if you're hip to it, but there's a lot of young black nail techs that are traveling black nail techs nowadays, like that people go to that aren't Asian anymore because people are now actually trying to go back into their own community. But it's less likely to find a black-owned nail salon in the hood, or just period. But especially in the hood, you might find it in like suburbia, but in the hood, nah, Asian. So like, what is your point that black people go to other ethnic groups or races for like things? You feel what I'm saying? Because yes, that is true, but that's not their culture. Culturally, like that's a stereotype. It's not Mexican culture to detail and do lawns. That's a stereotype. It's not Asian culture to do nails. That's a stereotype. Like, you're naming stereotypes. She's also naming stereotypes, but the difference between the stereotypes she's naming and the ones that you're naming are the stereotypes are directly linked to our culture. The stereotype that like black people like judge, for example, is like a cultural thing. Or like I don't want to get into like a real stereotype. You feel what I'm saying though? That's just my point. I just hate that. And agent points a lot of the times I completely disagree with because Agent grew up in Canada. And like whether and not saying Canada is any less racist than America and black people, whatever. That's not the point. The point is there's a difference. Even if it's equal, it's not equivalent. And the life that you lived, especially because he said he lived in a more privileged environment, is completely different. Lo, you grew up in the hood, which is what confuses me. Like, I don't understand Lo. I think Lo is just so anti-woke people movement that like he's all the way on the other side, which I can respect because I hate the woke movement too. But the woke movement they have valid points. Like, which I'm pretty sure Lo would admit they have valid points. They just take it to extremes. Well, she kind of is, but I understand her point.
Stop and support the black business. There's so much propaganda about people pretending.
And you're in Atlanta, bro. It's completely different than majority of hoods. But yeah, Atlanta's like the black mecca.
I don't see it, bro. And if that's the life you want to live, then just buy
completely different
stuff owned by black people.
It becomes extremely
like big three. Just support.
It becomes extremely
stop making a big
unrealistic though.
That's not an issue. When people
it is an issue.
It just makes you look dumb.
No, I disagree, Asia.
Now people just think you're a dumb person. So
I don't think she's dumb.
Because you're a person that can't be taken seriously. This is an opinion that no reasonable person would take.
I don't think she's dumb, Agent. I'm not gonna lie.
To be a victim, bro. Cut the shit out.
And
I'm not gonna lie, Agent.
The words in which y'all are identifying as
that's the thing.
Are just not professional words at all. Like, I'm not about to go into a professional establishment.
But then but like Lo, this is what her point is, right? People will then determine that black culture isn't professional. Cool, right? Cool. Fuck it. I don't really care. Like, that's neither here nor there. But then they would then appropriate it in their everyday life, and then it will become okay. Not even saying it will become professional. It will become okay. If Susie goes to the workplace and starts saying, "Sis, what you talking about? Like, I'm Aggie," it then becomes okay. Like, versus if I go to the workplace, I'm like, "Yo, I'm mad Aggie today, bro." Like that's not okay. The same way that, and who determines what's professional? That's like the other part of that you guys are missing. Like, for example, people would look at Lo right now and say, "Lo, you're like unkept and you're unprofessional." Or Agent, your hair is like, "Wow, it's unprofessional." But that's like your natural hair. White people just go and brush their hair and then they're professional. So like a lot of professionality or professionalism rather is whitewashed. So like that's not a valid point either. You guys are just both presenting fallacies to me. Like, it's not a logical argument right now.
The race of the person behind the desk. I'm not.
It's no.
I'm going to say finna. I'm not going to say.
You're not about to say finna. That's not the point though. Not to mention black people code switch. That's her point exactly. Like everything that you're about to say, bro, I swear is her point. Like everything you're about to say, like the fact that you understand subconsciously that you have to code switch certain words. Yes, it may not be professional. But there's a little Susie that doesn't think about that. That heard in a song or a black person or Twitter or TikTok that heard someone say, "Girl, we finna go get lit." And guess what? She gonna go to work and say that they finna go get lit. She's not gonna say, I'm going out today. I'm gonna have some fun. She's going to say, "I'm finna get lit," and everyone's gonna be okay with it. But if the same black woman with the green hair from earlier says, "I'm finna go get lit," people giving her side eyes, they gonna ask her what she mean. All this other jazz, brody. Like, come on now.
Be
realistic. And again, that's life.
Nah,
Like,
dead ass though.
I'm not-
that's
dead
why-
ass, I really want this job.
Yo, dead ass.
Nah, for real
Yo,
though.
dead ass fam.
But like,
why stop at black though? If you're not
It doesn't
from, if you're not
matter.
from New York, don't say dead ass.
Yeah,
though.
dead ass.
Facts,
You're not
though.
from-
Like,
you're
for
not-
real.
You're not from certain regions that actually established this. Why are y'all saying
Facts,
that?
I ain't gonna lie.
South, don't say
I'm tired of hearing people from not from New York say that ass. Y'all don't say it right.
Because we all know for a fact people in the South have different experiences from people in the North.
Let's keep going.
And people have different experience from the North than they have out West. So what is it? What does it
The
matter?
black
Everybody
plight
has the same
is different,
experience. So by
yes.
your logic, it
But
should
the
be
difference
even region
between
locked.
what
It should
black
be
people
region and
experience
race locked.
isn't
Like, what are we
necessarily
talking
regional.
about, bro?
It's skin
And
color.
also,
and
more
like
importantly,
economic
it kills me how
and
y'all sit here and
social
just want
parameters.
vindication and validation.
That's all
from
it
white
is. It's
people,
not-
yet y'all
it's
swear
not-
up and down.
It's not like
Y'all swear
based
up
on a
and down.
reason.
Y'all so concerned about what white people care about y'all. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares if the way that you speak out somewhere else is not accepted by white people? Who cares?
Because white people own a lot of businesses. White people own a lot of. White people control, rather. Forget the owning. White people control a lot of what life is in America. And then the next logical argument, I guess, to them is just leave America, right? But white people and white American culture and professionalism in America and workplace etiquette are a lot of the times whitewashed because they're the ones that created these codes and etiquettes, especially in reverse to what black people were, right? That was the purpose of it. So that's why it's important, because as we're getting older, we're starting to realize, hold on. Little Susie over there. I'm sorry for just using generic, like, white people trope names. But little Susie over there, because, like, say, yo, I'm dead ass hungry, and no one's going to tell little Susie she's unprofessional. But if I say I'm dead ass hungry, now I'm unprofessional. Now I got to learn how to speak properly. Now my supervisor is going to come in and say I have to use proper vernacular. And it becomes a problem. That's the point of her. That's her whole point. Bro, like, and that's the thing, like, you guys are making her point. Everything you're saying is making her point. But all you guys did was hear her say, or rather, all you guys did was hear her try to categorize what it means to be black, and you guys attacked that point. The minute that she was like AVA and black and equated the two, you guys try to attack everything she said. But the things she was saying as supported evidence are facts, even if you don't agree that white people shouldn't say it. Because I don't agree with her that white people should say dead ass or woke or whatever the case may be. Like, that's a wild thing to do. But like, her points are still valid, even if her thesis may be wrong, but her supporting evidence are facts. Like, they're facts. The same way that your thesis about what she said about her thesis is correct, but everything that you're saying is supporting evidence is wrong. Because you're just supporting her thesis at that point. And she's like, not, anyway.
Cares,
I'm
bro.
chatting right now.
But again, you talking about us being judged for it. Yeah, you probably gonna be judged for speaking in
Differently.
a professional setting.
Differently.
It doesn't matter.
Low.
The person across
Differently.
you is also black. I'm not gonna sit there and
Differently.
speak broken English. What the fuck are we talking
If a
Differently.
white person does it, then it's trendy and cool. Like in 2015 when Marc Jacobs reinvented the Bantu knots and then tried to call it the Jacob knot. Okay, well, or when Hailey Bieber tried to come out with that lip combo, even though blacks and Latinas have been doing it for years. Okay, but, or the worst of them all, period Brits. Who the hell is that? Period. Okay. I get it. You see,
But literally,
What you about to say?
I don't think you get it. Literally, a lot of those people that y'all are talking about, not only do black people associate with them like their popularity, but also y'all still correct them when they are out of line. So all you have to do is just correct them. But I'm very serious, if you as a black person somehow was envious, or you just sitting like, oh man, she got famous because she said period. Like, I don't know why the fuck. I personally, as a black person, I just laugh at that. I do not want to be known for something period.
That's not the point, though. That's a crazy screenshot. And that's not the point. Like, you're taking it as jealousy because she's comparing a lot. And to you, probably, comparison equates to just being jealous. Cool. But it's not necessarily a jealousy. It can be envy, but I'm envious that my culture isn't accepted until someone else takes it. I'm envious that I'm not allowed to say period and period poo until a white girl or whoever, I don't know who said it, but until someone else, non-black or Latino or Latina or whatever the case may be, says it. And now it's culturally acceptable to say it. Now it's funny. Now it's cool. Now everyone accepts it, not just my people, because my people always accepted it. My people won't find a problem with Shorty saying period and period poo because we've been saying it. That's not the problem. The problem is society as a whole is now okay with it, which now alienates my people because for however long that word was invented, we weren't allowed to express ourselves freely, but now it's okay. And now it's not even us expressing ourselves. Now people think it comes from this TikTok trend when this is just our culture. And I've been saying this for years. And that might not matter to you, but imagine someone, if you made content, right, Lo? Or you made content, right, Agent? Someone then took that content. You made content, right? It's getting no views. Someone then took that content. It went to the moon, right? Now everyone's messing with child content, but they're calling you a biter. It's like, you might not care. You guys might pretend like you don't care. But there's a pride in being, there's pride in ownership, pretty much. And like, that's the problem. You guys aren't proud to be black. Like, that's what I'm taking. Like, you're just not. Because there's a certain level of pride that you should have, that every other culture has, that people don't step over certain boundaries. And even if they do, they then cite where they got it from, and then that culture gets credit for it. That group of people get the credit for it. That group of people get to gatekeep it. We're the only group of people that can't gatekeep our own stuff. Come on now, bro.
I don't want to. What are we doing? Like, the fact that's what you want. That's what you're fighting for. That's what you want to be known for. You want black people to be known.
What do you want?
Only
The girl weren't fighting for
the black experience without actually, how do you say this?
Experiencing it. Because it's all fun and games until you read that somebody on the news.
Oh, she about to drag it
In the back 60 times.
Bro, there's
like that correlation is crazy. Nah, that correlation crazy, shorty. I ain't gonna lie, shorty. That correlation crazy, shorty.
Like saying cis and period to somebody losing their life.
That's crazy. I was with you this whole video.
Breaking it down, AAVE stands for African American Vernacular English. It is a specific dialect of
A
English that
Avenue.
can be traced all the way back to 1734 on slavery plantations in the South. And if you took
What the negrita said?
down, AAVE stands for African American Vernacular English.
Heard that,
It is a
John.
specific dialect of English that can be traced all the way back to 1734 on slavery plantations in the South.
Okay.
And if you took
Bro, what the fuck are we doing?
What's the joke about this though?
I hate this, bro. I hate everything.
What are we doing?
Why is he this bored?
I actually want to hear some of the words.
I want to hear what he says.
You might actually.
AAVE is deemed a lazy language or a black language or something that is incomprehensible to white people. When in fact, people who use it, the black community, we have been oppressed, belittled, made fun of, discriminated, and dehumanized.
So actually, I have a question, and this goes to Asian Law or anyone else who's watching this video, right? Should white people be able to say, like, speak in patois, for example? Because AAVE is patois. Like, wouldn't that classify as patois? Can white people just speak in patois and Jamaicans not be okay with it, and that will be a problem? Because, like, what? Like, come on now. Like, where are we drawing the line? Like, it's our culture. We can gatekeep our culture. Now, it's funny that we're gonna say certain words like woke, for example. I don't think you can gatekeep woke. But then again, who knows? But yeah, it's interesting food for thought.
Just for using it, for speaking with our community. And if anything, we're not looking to monetize it, we're looking to connect with our community by using it. And when you start to look at the fact that a lot of people are discriminated against in the school system because of their use of AAVE, when you acknowledge the school to prison pipeline, you quickly see how corroding
that correlation crazy.
That
correlation crazy. Yo, they be having me in the first half.
That y'all, even what you're claiming derives back to slavery, bro. No. Come on.
A nigga in New
Riz
York made
did
it
not-
5 years ago. A guy in Boston made that shit 3 years ago.
What are you?
The point is though that black people has had ebonics forever.
Riz, man, how deep back in your heritage did you come up with that one, dog?
Riz, but
great-great-grandpa-
Riz is a derivative of
How far
game,
did you come
which
up
is a
with that?
derivative of
But
like
y'all
being
niggas
able
be
to talk
trying
your
to be
shit,
so
which is like
fucking
it all
woke, and y'all
derives from
don't-
something.
What's crazy is
That's one of the words, actually.
I'm happy. Y'all try to act so woke, and y'all don't even participate in creating culture.
That
That's
is
the crazy
true.
Part. Just because you black doesn't mean you participate in creating the culture and what you
Facts.
trying to protect with your dear life. You
Facts.
also just benefit from it, and then after benefiting from it,
Facts.
you tell the people what they can or can't do. You don't create either, nigga. Getting tired of y'all bitch ass.
What does that have to do? For example, right? Actually, I can't. Can I say that? Can I? Okay, the people that Kyrie offended when they were about to cancel Kyrie, right? Those people. Not all of those people experience the same level of trauma towards a certain event that their ancestors did, correct? Cool. And yet they're gatekeeping what is that. Why? Because it's still their culture. Like, you don't have to be the ones directly responsible for your culture to take pride in your culture, you dummy. Like, Jamaicans, for example, don't have to be the ones that created dreads. Or let me not say Jamaican. The Rastafarian culture does not have to, the people that are involved in it today, does not have to be the originators or even the ancestors of the originators to say, hey, I don't want white people wearing dreads because I feel like it disrespects my culture because it's their culture. Now, if you want to argue what's Black American culture or not, that's neither here nor there because Black Americans don't really have a culture. They're trying to identify what their culture is now, which is why a lot of these type of videos are coming out. Because people like you, Lo, who are Black American, don't have culture. That's why you, Lo, can say everything under the sun that you're saying because you don't have a culture. But anyone that comes from another country that takes pride in their culture understands what the Black Americans are trying to do. Yeah.
This nigga sitting here getting in front of a camera acting like y'all create something and y'all don't actually create a fucking thing. But y'all also want to reap the benefits from it. Man, get the fuck out of here, bro.
Yeah. It's odd.
That's crazy, right? You got in there?
Yeah, I did.
You saw that?
I noticed. Good work.
Y'all finna have me go spill the tea around here. Right?
Yeah.
Right?
You sound pressed right now.
I'm using right?
Yeah.
Spill the tea?
Mm-hmm. I mean, you didn't really, but
You didn't.
What happened to it?
tea is just drama.
Oh.
Yeah.
Damn. How did I know that I'm Black?
Shut up.
Inappropriately
Hey,
and not
it is cultural
understanding
appropriation.
the pleasure and depth of-
If I hear any more dumb opinions, bro, I'm about to tap out.
How is this not cultural appropriation,
Oh,
though?
that's a white face.
The next 16-year-old cracker to tell me to be fuck.
Nah, that's wild. Yeah, man, back it up, bro. I would have been
Hey,
Asian.
all white people, use as many AAVE words in the comment section below, man.
All right, cool. White people, you feel what I'm saying? I'm not a gatekeeper in the sense of I'm not gonna tell you what to say and what not to say, but I will say that, like, culturally speaking, just be able to cite where the culture you got it from, and then like also try to fight for said culture. You feel what I'm saying? Because like it is unequal. It is inequity. Inequity, is that the word? Fuck it. There's inequality going on. And who can say what, who could feel what, who could, you feel what I'm saying? Like there is. And like even though these two buckos want to act like it's all just jokes, the things they said could be deemed as outlandish to a certain extent, but there's also truth in it. As there's truth in what Asian Lo said as well. You just have to understand that Black people in America especially, and I'm not Black American, but Black people in America especially are searching for an identity. You feel what I'm saying? Like they're for a lot of their history, they've been identityless in a sense. Like their culture has just been, every time something was created, it was just taken and made into like pop culture, and it wasn't Black culture. And now they're trying to re-identify and take back a lot of the power that was stripped from them. So just understand that when they say certain things, it might come across as hatred based or like racially motivated, but in a lot of the times it's like out of defense in a lot of ways. But if you guys are new around here, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, all that jazz. Trying to get 200 big subscribers, you feel what I'm saying? Catch y'all on my next reaction video. Peace out. Asian Lo wildin' though, I ain't gonna lie.